Welcome, everybody. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Game 4, Nuggets Blazers. If you watched ESPN this morning, it was all about how the Blazers are going to beat the Nuggets. The Nuggets have to overcome not just the media, but themselves. And in a gargantuan Western Conference battle, Game 4, Nuggets Blazers. All right, gentlemen. You excited about today? I mean, are you feeling good things here this morning?
Yes. I'm just trying to time it to pull my spare ribs off the smoker to put them in the oven.
Oh, you're smoking ribs?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Is this going to be another one of those smoking ribs and Dave gets none?
Yeah, well, you're the one that has to go up to Denver without your children. So I will send you a video of me eating some delicious smoked ribs, and I'll make yummy noises.
Sounds good.
That does sound good.
Will, how you feeling this morning?
Trying to stop this damn squirrel from eating all my mulch.
Yeah, squirrels and mulch, man.
I'm feeling good, though. Feeling good. We cleaned this morning, and my kids are outside throwing rocks at a squirrel. Probably not the best example because they saw me throwing rocks at a squirrel. So I'm a great dad. Yeah, excited for the Nuggets. It's a beautiful day in southern Colorado, and drinking some coffee in Kahlua. Life is good.
Yummy indeed. Life is good today. A little windy outside, right? But nothing terrible, huh, Tim? Can you feel that wind where you are?
It's just a slight breeze right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, I didn't get my run in this morning, but I'll try to do that a little later after Bros on Nuggs here. We are obviously rolling with the Nuggets right now. Bros on Nuggs, rolling with the Nuggets. We are doing this for you, Nuggets Nation. We are doing this for ourselves and our own stupid superstitions. And good things are happening for the Nuggets right now. Jokic is playing historically well. There's some pretty crazy stats surrounding what Jokic is doing through the first 3 games of this series. I'm sure we'll get to comment on that here pretty soon. Dame Lillard is also playing at a historic rate, though Jokic is playing better. But the only thing I heard on ESPN this morning was how Dame had scored more than 34 points or more in every game. They failed to mention that Jokic is averaging 36 through the series. So ESPN was really pissing me off. I realize now why I hate watching that station when it comes to basketball or really anything. But yeah, man, Jokic having historic numbers right here through the first 3 games of a series. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Will.
What's nice about it is his three-point field goal percentage because, late in the season, it was dropping off a little bit, but now since the playoffs have started, he's been more aggressive on the 3-point line, knocking down some shots, knocked down that pull-up when we were early in the first quarter, when we were kind of coming out slow. Took it upon himself to start playing better and getting us out of that early rut that we had in Game 3. So, man, he's just playing at a historic rate. I mean, but what's new? Can always disrespect with Jokic. Yeah, the fact that people are trying to say that there's someone else winning the MVP is just another slap in the face. But you know what's great about him is he doesn't care. He just comes out and plays. He knows it's about that locker room and about what they're doing and what their goals are. So that's why I love Jokic so much, man. He just doesn't care what anybody else says. He just does his thing. And yeah, I mean, I'm maybe after this series, if we win or if we get to the Western Conference Finals without Jamal Murray, maybe he'll get some respect. But he's not going to be like LeBron and be like, I want my damn respect. So that's why I love Jokic so much, man. He's a humble superstar. It's a rare breed. Everybody today is all about me, look at me. And he's about everybody else. So gotta love Jokic, man. And he'll continue to play great. He'll play great again today, and they'll continue to ignore it. So what's new? Nuggets and Jokic being ignored by national media. Nothing we're not used to.
Right. Tim, here's a stat for you that you're probably aware of because I think I sent it in our text messages. But Nikola Jokic is the first guy since 1984 to through the first 3 games of a series to average over 36 points or more, to shoot over 57% from 2-point, to shoot over 50% from 3-point, and to shoot over 90% from the free throw line. Can you name the one other person who's done that since 1984?
Oh, man. My guess would be the GOAT, Michael Jordan.
That is correct.
But
He's in a league with Michael Jordan right now. What do you think about Jokic's play so far in the series?
I think it's been a beautiful thing to watch. I think he's now playing on a national stage. Other than, he's playing on a national stage now. These during the playoffs, and so all those biased folks who don't get to watch, the Midwest teams play, or getting to see him play and getting to see how really special he is. The fact that he played all 72 games this season and then came into the playoffs and hasn't even really looked that tired is really impressive. Like Will was saying, I was a little nervous when he got off to a quote-unquote slow start, but then he nailed 2 3-pointers to get going, and it was a beautiful thing. It's just been a lot of fun to watch. He's showing why he's the MVP. He's showing why he's one of the best in the game right now. He's the best big man in the league. No disrespect to Joel Embiid. He just doesn't do it quite like Jokic does. Jokic is a special player, and you're not going to see these come every day. So it's nice to be able to watch him day in, day out as a Denver Nugget.
Yeah, I've got tea. Will's got coffee and Kahlua. Liz is making an appearance here, gentlemen.
Hey, Liz.
This is a morning edition, huh, guys?
Hey, Poops.
Hey, bro. Where are you at?
Outside with the fan bam?
Are you up in Woodland?
No, at my house.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
All right.
coffee with your bros on nuts.
Did you bring coffee?
No.
Oh.
Can I go get some?
Yeah, sure.
The kids want biscuits or gravy. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
I want some biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, right. Yes, Jokic is playing at a historic level. No doubt about it. Just a few more numbers here for you guys. This is from a Yahoo Sports article. Next to Jokic, only LeBron James last year, Jamal Murray last year, Kevin Durant in 2018 and 14, and Larry Bird in 87. They're the only people to post numbers similar to what Jokic is doing right now at the beginning of a playoff series. As we mentioned, Michael Jordan's the only one to have the exact same or numbers as good in terms of shooting percentages as Jokic right now. Jokic has also joined LeBron James, Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Rolando Blackman as the only players since 1984 with 35 assists, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists versus Portland in a series.
Rolando Blackman?
Yeah, Rolando Blackman.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, he's a dude from the 80s, man.
Like Ronaldo Balkman?
No, not Ronaldo. Ronaldo Balkman would never put up those types of numbers.
What? Ronaldo Balkman?
Now, best dreads on a team, Ronaldo Balkman may get that one, right?
Yeah.
Jokic is the first player since Michael Jordan to record 30 points on 50% shooting in the beginning of a series. Since 96-97, Jokic is the only postseason player to average at least 35 points on 55% shooting, 50% from 3, and 90 from the free throw line. He's shooting 63.9% when guarded by Nurkic, Cantor, or Covington, which is crap because this morning on ESPN, they're all like, oh, when Nurkic guards him, he's just not as effective. Well, there's the stat to prove you wrong. He leads the playoffs with six per game post-ups, shooting 60% on post-ups. He's third in the playoffs on off-screen shooting 50%. And in pick and roll, even without Jamal Murray, he's being more effective in pick and roll than he was in last year's playoffs, shooting 69% off of pick and roll. That's incredible. 69% shooting off of pick and roll. So there you go. There's some of the numbers you have for Jokic right now. For all of you haters who think that he's not the MVP, at least at the beginning of the series so far, he has shown not only is the MVP, but he's a transcendent player here in the league. He slows the game down, and it's incredible. our Nuggets are playing awesome, man. You would think game 3 would have been a really tricky game for us to maneuver, and it was, right? Game 3 was. We have to talk Austin Rivers for a minute because what a story. Will, Tim, you guys want to comment on our boy Austin Rivers now?
It was just true fashion. We're sitting there. Why is he in the game? What is he doing? Get him out. And then he goes off for 18 points. So that's why we are fans and not the coaches.
Exactly.
It was impressive, man. He hit those big 3 threes in a row to get him kind of rolling there in that fourth quarter. And when we needed him, we needed somebody to be hitting some outside shots. And he just kind of showed up, and I think he kind of solidified himself as a Denver Nugget in that moment. I was hoping to have MPJ have a moment like that, but I'll take it from Austin Rivers, who's come out to said he loves it. Like we already know, he's already talked about how much he loves Denver, and he goes, "I hope I found my home for the rest of my career." And his dad just came out and said, "That's my boy." So I mean, that was a huge quarter when we needed it, and we weren't getting it from the people you normally expect it. It was just it was great. It was fun to watch, and hopefully he can carry that momentum that he was able to gain in that fourth quarter onto the game today.
Will, Austin Rivers comments?
Yeah, no, it was funny. We were watching that game together, and because Monte Morris was having a decent game, right? And I was like, "Where's Monte? Put Monte in." After I think Rivers missed a first shot or took a bad shot, and the next time down the court, it's a pull-up 3, and I'm like, "Oh!" And then he makes another, just like you said, like Tim said, true our fashion, talking crap about a player, and then they step it up and play great. It's really great to see. I mean, to think about how much adversity he's had this season, not playing for a month and a half, the Knicks saying we don't need you, and learning some lessons throughout his long career to come out and do that and be so clutch for us was a really cool moment to see. I'm happy for him, and like Tim said, I hope he's found a home here. Jamal's going to be out for quite some time, even next season. So, he's proven his worth in the playoffs. He's always been a good defender. I know early when he was with us, and reasonably so, right? Hasn't been playing basketball, or at least, NBA basketball for over a month and a half. And so when he started slow, I was worried, and it's just great to see. So hopefully, him and Facu can kind of continue to play, and give us, those 10 points each, 10 to 15 points each. I think 15 is a little much to ask. I know he dropped 21, but between him and Facu, if they can give us like 20, 25 points and continue to rebound a little bit, play good defense, and get us some assists, that's going to be huge with such a banged up front court. So they're a key. They're going to be a key to our success if they can continue to play well. The team's going to be able to keep moving forward. So awesome to see. They deserve it. They're two great individuals. I don't know if you guys watched his interview with Altitude, but that was pretty cool, talking about what he's persevered through and how he just loves the culture here. And I really like what Malone said to him, right? Like right before he went out there, shoot the effing ball and gave him that confidence. Like, that's what's so cool about Malone. Like, any other coach would probably be like, "Hey, play within yourself. Don't force anything. We don't need you to score. You're out there for your defense or whatever." And he told him to shoot the ball. So that's how cool Malone is, man. He's such a great coach, and
He really is.
As much as I've always done this with Nuggets coaches because I'm an idiot. Why do you play that guy? I don't know your rotation. I'm done with that. I'll stop. Slap me when I say that again, guys. Please don't. But man, Malone's awesome, and the fact that he said that and gave Austin Rivers the confidence to go out there and step up it's pretty cool.
It's a cool story right now, and I loved the post game locker room speech that Malone gave when he said, "We needed a player and he needed a team," and it just, that resonated with me on so many levels. I'm not sure Malone meant it like philosophically, but to me it felt philosophical. Like, we needed a player, he needed a team, and he joined the right team. You know what I mean? And you guys just talked about it. He's a part of the culture. He feels like he fits in. The Nuggets really are fun to watch. If you like basketball, you don't always get this in the NBA. I was watching the Mavs and Clips last night for a good portion of that game, and it felt static at times offensively, not a whole lot of movement, petty little things going on. And I'm just like, dude, the Nuggets, they ball out. They ball out as a team. They try to play the right way. And yes, the ball can get stuck sometimes with Austin Rivers. That was my frustration with him in the first half before he went off, right? Is the ball was sticking to his hands. He wasn't moving it. You know what I mean? But he showed when he had to show. The Nuggets showed when they had to show. And defensively, they showed when they had to show in the fourth quarter, which was awesome. What a fun game, man. What a fun game. And I'm glad you brought up Facu, Will, because I think he's kind of a silent hero here, stepping up and scoring, or he hit a couple threes. He's trying to score off that pick and roll a little bit, which has opened up Jokic. Even if he doesn't make the layup every time, as long as he tries to make the layup once or twice, it opens things up in the lane for that pick and roll. And we were talking about the pick and roll effectiveness of Jokic shooting a high percentage off of it. A lot of that is because Facu is doing a good job off that pick and roll of getting to the paint and creating space. So Facu, keep it up, man. He's got to keep trying to score once or twice on those layups, even if he gets blocked, which he has been. He gets blocked all the time, but it opens things up for Jokic in the middle there. And it's good stuff, man. The way they're playing is good. Good team ball. Dame, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Dame in his post game on after game 3 complained about the refereeing.
That's all he's done this series is complain about the refereeing, even in the game they won.
Yeah. I found that fascinating when, honestly, the last 2 games in terms of free throw attempts and foul calls have been relatively even compared to game 1 when they won and free throws and foul calls were obviously not even. I find it interesting that you're choosing that point to to call out the refs. Jokic intentionally not calling out the refs, saying that it's a hard game to referee, and he doesn't know anyone who'd want to be one, right? So maybe that karma is playing out in our favor right now. Hopefully Dame stays frustrated. One thing I love about Michael Malone, as you talked about, Will, Michael Malone is awesome. But all you've heard from our camp the whole 3 games so far is that we're fighters, right? We're going to keep fighting. We're going to fight. That's what we do. And that's why he loves Facu. I was reading an article this morning about when Facu first showed up for his first practice with the Nuggets. And he goes up to Malone and he's like, so do you want me to take it easy on our guards, Jamal and Monte? And Malone's like, fuck no. I want you to push their asses as hard as you can. You know what I mean? Play them as tough as you possibly can.
He said he wants them to make their lives a living hell.
Right. Exactly.
and he awesome. Said that it'll only make us better. That's what he said. It'll only make us better if you make it hard on these guys.
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, Facu's awesome. Coach Malone's awesome. This Nuggets team is awesome. How resilient are they? Texting with our boy Cody this week. That dude, he's as pumped up as ever about this team, just their resiliency and their passion for the game and how well they play together. So, man, if he's feeling good vibes, that's got to be a good sign for all of us here who are also feeling good vibes when it comes to the Nuggs, man. We've talked about this. This seems to be like a super heated playoffs here in the NBA. Tim, are you catching on to that still? Watching the Mavs clips last night, there was still a couple technical fouls, a couple flagrant fouls. This seems to be a super physical / I don't know, just intense playoff series for a first round all across the NBA.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Typically you wait to see the chippiness until the later rounds, but to see it in the first round is providing great entertainment. Much like we spoke about the other day, fans got to keep their shit together and realize there's a boundary and not to cross it. But I've enjoyed the chippiness. I think people are tired. I think the players are tired and they're frustrated. And I think that they all think, especially in the Western Conference, they all think they have a chance to win the championship, at least win the Western Conference. And I think it has lit a fire up under everybody's butt. And I think everybody's, they don't want to take any more shit. They don't want to just be, they're taking it more seriously, I think, early on. And they're not afraid to throw some bows and get frustrated and push one another. And kind of reminds me of basketball in the, before the Malice in the Palace, where it was a little bit more physical and people were getting in each other's faces, and it was kind of fun to watch. So I've really enjoyed it, and I hopefully it will continue, because I think that will bode well for the Nuggets, because I think the Portland Trailblazers are a little soft in that aspect. Nurkic always pushing people in the back, trying to get something going instead of facing a man-to-man. Kind of shows you how big of a chicken shit he is, instead of being like a true hard ass and getting someone's face. Let me just push MPJ in the back from time to time. He'll, I don't know. And I've loved how MPJ's responded to that. But I've enjoyed the physicality and the aggressiveness of this playoffs.
Yeah, ditto. I've really enjoyed it. Will, I know you were watching a little bit of that Dallas game last night. It's just, we talked about this before, but just the physicality of these playoffs, the intensity of these playoffs, both from the players and the fans, just seems to be a little different this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's funny is everybody's talking some shit, like everybody, and I think it's like you said, you mentioned this last cast that the new NBA is just it's kind of, it's part of it now, and I really think it's teams testing each other's resiliency. Like, do you sink or swim when the intensity comes up, and then when people are in your face, or when people are playing well and challenging you? The stars are going to rise to the top, and those good athletes like that, right? The people want that, and so I also feel like some of it is sorry, my kid's yelling at me. I also feel like some of it is some gamesmanship, like trying to get in people's heads, trying to get fouls. Like, I thought it was kind of interesting on that man foul last night when I was watching the Clips Mavs game, was it didn't seem that bad. Like, I know he kind of pushed him in the head, but he tried to act like he got punched. And I was all like, yeah, flagrant, technical, whatever you want to give it, no doubt about that. Man acted like he was ready to throw down. And I thought it was a little bit like, I think you nailed it, Dave, when we were texting last night. Man's trying to get Cauley-Stein out of the game because he already had a flagrant. And so that was a little bit of gamesmanship, I think, trying to get a player out of the game because of that chippiness and seeing what you can get away with, and I think every series is doing that. There's certain players when in the bubble, right, when we played the Lakers, Dwight Howard didn't do much but rebound and try to piss off Jokic. That was his role that series, right? And so there's always going to be these roles to play, and these people that try to create emotion on the wrong side of it and get in your head. And that's what I really like in going back about how Jokic has performed these last 2 years, is like, he's not as easy to piss off. I know obviously got a technical a couple games ago, but it's good seeing that, right? Like, Jokic being, not too high, not too low, but very consistent, and cool, calm, and collected, but still aggressive in the way he plays. So the same with the Nuggets, like you said, they're survivors, right? They're fighters, and in a good way. Like, in previous years, we've seen them not want to fight and all that. So yeah, chippiness, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's great. It's great. I know that some people are frustrated with it, but I think it's great from the NBA standpoint to bring that physicality back, especially as the NFL starts to lose popularity, which it's slowly losing popularity. You've got the NHL, that's a very fun playoffs to watch regardless. And if the NBA can allow this physicality to continue just a little bit, I think it sets them up well to be, to continue to rise as a great professional league here in the United States. I did want to do a quick shout out to Nuggets Nation and Nuggets fans. I'm glad we are not yet, thank God, on the list that is quickly accumulating of cities that are racist. So good job, Nuggets Nation, as the NBA continues to see this kind of happening. So I just want to give a shout out to Nuggets Nation. Keep your shit together, right? And I'm proud of us for our fan base. Cool. All right, guys, the Clippers, man, are they facing karma right now for not winning those last two games, or at least one of those last two games? Like, are they facing some real karma? They're in trouble. George Karl tweeted last night that even though the Clips won, you can tell that this team is not playing together and they don't really care for one another. Is this a top-down thing? Has Tyrone Lue screwed this up, or is this a matter of the players in that locker room? But I feel like it's a little bit of karma when you intentionally lose those last two games so that you don't have to face the Lakers. I feel like karma is starting to bite them in the ass. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Tim.
I thought Dallas was going to be a tough matchup anyways. They kind of they found their stride at the right time, and they got hot going into the playoffs. And just like in any sport, any team that is on the rolling into the playoffs, they're going to be tough to watch out for. I think the Clippers, they think they've bought a championship. I think they have the roster to do it. I think the roster's not necessarily gelling together. Obviously, we're not in the locker room or inside, so we don't know what's going on. But even last year in the bubble, when we came back to beat them in Game 7, they just seemed a little shocked. I don't know how well they're gelling together, and I think that's a big issue. I don't know if it's Tyrone Lue or if he's not able to, maybe he's not able to manage those superstars.
Well, neither was Doc Rivers, right?
Yeah. So I think that tells you there's a common denominator there, and that's the team you've thrown together. You either have to find the exact right coach there, or you got to figure something else out, and I think they're going to have to figure something else out. But I thought with the way Dallas was playing, it was going to be a tough series, and it kind of looks like it's heading that way.
That's a good point, Tim. Will, do you think the Clippers are facing a little bit of karma for trying to avoid the Lakers?
I think it's overall karma and how that team was constructed. I think, and that's not on Ty Lue. I think that's on Kawhi and George for them wanting to construct this super team to compete with the Lakers. And not that Kawhi's not a great player, but he just doesn't seem like a leader to me. I think he is a superstar, no doubt about it. Obviously, he's a huge reason why Toronto won, but they also had a ton of vets and people that have been there before, and they had a good culture in Toronto prior to bringing Kawhi in. And Kawhi wanted to create his own culture in LA, and him and George, I just don't think they have that in their makeup. And it's kind of created this inconsistency and I think you kind of see that in Brooklyn, in my opinion. We'll see if it gets them an NBA championship or not, but this culture of me and this culture of, we just want to win championships and we're just going to use it on our talent alone and not develop relationships and not develop players and these things. I mean, I think Ty Lue's a great coach. I thought that was probably one of the best things they did, bringing him in, actually. I think he's a good playoff coach too. So, but I kind of hold that and everything that the Clippers are and were and continue to be on those two. And they needed a win last night and they stepped up and did it. I think it's very possible that they lose the next 2 out of 3 games and they're out of the playoffs. So if Doncic got even some support like he's been getting the last 2 games, they win that game. Mm-hmm. Doncic went off, and but they were able to slow down Hardaway and Porzingis and some other guys that have been a helpful part of why the Mavs won those first 2 games. I know Jalen Brunson played well, but I think that's just part of the Clippers culture, man, and that's why I don't really like them. I think that's why I don't like big markets in general. So
right. The Clippers are trying to use the excuse that Serge Ibaka would be helping them out right now if he wasn't injured. That's the depths of the insanity of the Clippers right now. I'm glad they're in a rough spot. I don't know who I'd rather play eventually in the playoffs if it ever came to that, the Clippers or the Mavs. But I'm just glad that series is a battle right now and that the Clippers are fighting to stay in the playoffs after trying to avoid the Lakers, which the Nuggets obviously did not try to do. They just tried to win down the stretch, and I'm proud of them for that. And the Lakers will be our next matchup after we take care of the Blazers, knock on wood, here in the next couple games. And you know what? I'm not nervous about that. I'm excited about that series, man. Bring it on at this point, right? Fox Bet today. Fox Bet, my friends, is allowing you to put $5 down and get $25 in return on a bet that is a gimme and that is, does Nikola Jokic score 1 point? If he scores 1 point, you get $25 on $5. Are you guys going to start gambling now?
No. They are tempting.
Yeah.
They are tempting, but like you don't actually get that money. I think it just goes into your account for you to bet later on. I don't think you can cash out on that until you bet it against something else. I'm not certain, though. I've never looked into it. When I do gamble, I do enjoy sports betting. Like when I would go to Vegas back in the day, I always enjoyed sports betting over cards games. But you know, I don't know. I don't feel like I don't know. I'm not going to do it.
Will you make it $25 today?
I think Tim's right. I think you got to like bet the amount that they'll win you first before it's deemed eligible to cash out that money. It's very tempting. At first, when DraftKings and FanDuel and all that came out at first for fantasy football, I was like, oh yeah, and tried, and I would always only win like $5 because of so many. And I don't know, but I feel a little bit better about some of that stuff, like betting on some money lines and all that. I was talking to my coworker who likes sports betting and is doing decently. He wins some money here and there. He bets on the NBA a lot. He was asking me, if I was betting on the Nuggets game. I was like, no, I don't jinx the Nuggets, man. I don't bet on the Nuggets.
Yeah,
because I don't want to. I know our superstition, right? We have to do a Bros on Nuggs pregame now, as long as they're winning. And I don't want to bet on the Nuggets because I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll take the Nuggets in the over, and then they'll lose, and then it'll be the under, and I'll be like, why? It's all my fault, even though I have no control over the outcome of the game.
I'll make this bet, the $5 that Jokic scores 1 point in this game, and he'll get
take that. Yeah,
he'll get injured pregame, and he'll miss the game or something. You know what I mean? Like, just something horrible will happen. So I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole or whatever people say. Not playing that game. Here's another reason not to bet online, my friends. Colorado doesn't get tax money from the online betting. They only get it from the casinos. So when you bet online, you're not actually contributing to those tax dollars that go back into the state of Colorado. So there's that. Oh man. Okay.
Well, that's how a lot of that gambling money is how historic locations are able to receive grants, aka BMR.
Right.
Although we've really struggled with our grants, but at some point we're going to hit one.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But yeah, if you're not getting money from that, then stay offline. Go up to Cripple Creek or Blackhawk and make some sports bets there. Right? That's what you got to do. All right, cool. I think tonight or this afternoon, you're going to see a super physical Nurkic against Jokic, to the point you guys were making early on about how they try to get in Jokic's head, which hasn't worked so far this series. But I do think you're going to see a super physical Nurkic today. And I just hope Jokic can keep his cool and not play into that and utilize Nurkic's aggression against him. And I think Jokic will do that, but I would expect a super physical Nurkic tonight on Jokic.
As long as Dame's complaining about the refs doesn't make it to the higher ups of the NBA where they complain and they change the way they've been reffing the game. If they keep reffing it the way they've been reffing it the last couple of games, I think a aggressive Jokic will benefit us because he will foul out at some point. And then you got to put in, the stepson, who I thought was going to be a problem, but Cantor at the beginning of the season, just because of the way he whooped up on us a couple of years ago. But, those two bigs are Jokic's stepkids, and he just beats up on them willingly and ably when he wants to. So bring it, boys.
Yeah, just, a public service announcement. Bros on Nuggs does not advocate for the beating of stepchildren.
It's just a saying.
A saying, yeah. Okay. Will?
I think it's funny that, and maybe Lillard's trying to advocate for Nurkic here. Is like when we watch these Nurkic fouls, I haven't seen one where I'm like, yeah, that's not a foul. There's a couple times where we saw, Lillard get fouled, and we're like, okay, yeah, that was a foul. Maybe should have got that call. But every single time Lillard's down the court, whether it's a foul or not, where somebody actually has a good challenge on a shot and doesn't touch him, he's all like, anytime like he makes a layup, he tries to make it look more contested than it is. And he's a foul hunter, man. I get it. You're trying to get to the foul line. That's easy for him because he's like 97% from the foul line and all that. But like when Nurkic has fouled out these last 2 games, it's not because they've been calling it too tight on Nurk. Like he's been caught in bad positions because of how Jokic has played him, and he's fouled. So again, what I've liked to see, and what's been nice with how interesting we score, right? Like typically we score off of and this is why Jokic's assists are down, but he's still being really efficient, is we're not cutting as well. They have done I will say the Blazers have done a good job of making sure that we don't cut as effectively. And so our cutting, we're the second best team in cutting in the NBA, and they've really killed that percentage. How we're still scoring and being effective and efficient without as many cuts as we're doing. And I think that's a testament to Jokic getting those guys in foul trouble, which is what we were talking about initially. So yeah, Jokic dominates. It's not just in the paint. Like the fact that he's been knocking down some threes to spread out the offense to create more lanes and drive lanes for other teammates has been. He's just, his basketball IQ is through the roof, man, and he affects the game in so many ways, in subtle ways that you don't really see until you look back at the game and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Look what he did to create the space for this player, or the decisions he makes. It's uncanny.
Yeah, he's amazing. Tim, how's the smoking going?
Well, I was waiting until we were done to get the fire going.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're smoking ribs?
Yeah,
that's yummy.
Probably about 3 hours on. Spare ribs. I've never done spare ribs before, but probably about 3 hours on, and they hit that point where they won't take any more smoke. So you can either keep them on the smoker or put them in the oven. I'll probably finish them in the oven, just because it's supposed to rain this afternoon.
Yeah, it is, huh? It's supposed to rain this afternoon, and then like all day tomorrow and Monday. Such is life, right? I'm hoping it's raining threes for the Nuggets, baby. 23s last game, man. That's awesome. Take that, Portland. You were so pumped up. You made 18 in game 1. We just outdid you with 20 in your place. So take it, right? Take it. Are we going to see double teaming on Jokic finally? Because they've been trying to just single team or guard him solo with Nurkic and Cantor, which obviously is not working. Are we going to see some more double teams coming?
I don't know. I hope so. But if you do, you're going to start to see the assists go up.
Right.
You're going to see MPJ start scoring more points if you do that.
Yeah.
So, but maybe you say that, like, we were talking last game how uninspired MPJ looked early in that game, and he did have that pretty sweet putback dunk, which was nasty. And the guy is a walking bucket, man. He can you're like, oh, he's not playing very well, and then he has 20 points, and you're like, how? What? He has 20 points? Obviously, we want to see it on the defensive end, right, with MPJ too. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think like Tim said, if you double him, we're gonna find the open man. It's just, and maybe you say, hey, we're gonna make other guys make shots. But that happened in game 3. Other guys made shots, stepped up, and won the game. So
yeah,
do it. Pick your poison, I guess, right?
Yeah, pick your poison, Portland. Good luck with that. Yeah, man. Just real quick, we got to give the old guys their due. JaMychal Green kept us in the game for a little bit there. Even though he shot poorly in the second half, he was on fire for like a 3-minute stretch that gave us a little bit of a lead. So I got to give love there. And he was playing super hard for those like 3 or 4 minutes. And then the previous 2 games before that, we got to give love to Millsap. He didn't have his best game last go round, but I thought he played better in game 2. Yeah, just good to see those guys contributing and understanding their role and not being prima donnas about it, even though they're veterans and they've been here before. They're just their contribution means a lot. So giving a shout out here to JaMychal Green and Paul Millsap for their play in the last 2 games of this series. That is good stuff. All right, one thing you guys are nervous about for today's game, something that you're nervous about. Timmy, are you nervous about anything in today's game?
I guess the thing that makes me nervous would be, I think I already said this earlier, but would be that little Dame Times little post game speech about the officiating is going to affect it in a way that benefits Portland. You could see what happens in games when they're officiated equally. And the last two have been officiated fairly equally, which is nice. So I just because last year during the bubble, LeBron cried and filed a complaint to the NBA, and it changed everything for the series and how it was officiated down the road. So I would hate to see Dame Time's on court crying turn to off court crying, turn into changing of the actually officiating of the game. I think that would be what I'm most nervous about. I think we figured out how to contain Dame. I mean, you're not going to stop him. You can only hope to contain him. We were forcing him to drive a lot more, and I'll give up 2s over 3s for that guy. So,
yeah, ditto. Will, one thing you're nervous about for the game today?
The complimentary players stepping up for the Blazers. CJ McCollum playing better, and it's Melo's birthday today. So maybe Melo has Melo-esque in his prime kind of night today. But Melo's not the same player. He doesn't attack the basket like he used to. He doesn't rebound like he used to. He kind of just sits on the perimeter and hopes to make outside shots. But yeah, I think that's the only thing. That's how the Blazers are going to win or even have a chance to win. Is their complimentary players need to play a hell of a lot better, and maybe those guys start shooting a little bit better. Like a Norman Powell, a Melo, and a McCollum start supporting Dame. Because honestly, I don't think it matters what Dame does if the other players aren't up to, they're not pulling their weight. So that's what would get me worried is if the complimentary players start playing better.
I'm kind of with you on that. I'm nervous about McCollum finally. He's played steady in this series, no doubt, but him and Dame finally going off together. So both getting, 30 or more points each, if combined they score 75 or 70, I think that's super scary. It makes me nervous, but it hasn't happened to this point. We felt pretty comfortable with our defense on McCollum. I think we're pretty cool with him scoring 18 to 22 every game. And if we can contain him there, I think we're all right. Okay. What are you guys most hyped for today? What's exciting you the most about the game today?
Game 4, man. I'm excited to see Yoke go off again. Keep playing the way he's playing. I think he's rolling, man. I think he's there's been a lot of naysayers out there saying all this stuff about, MVP this, MVP that, and I think he doesn't really buy into that or listen to it, but I think he's proven some of those people wrong, and I'm excited to see him to keep rolling on. Prove the doubters wrong, man.
Yeah. Will, what are you most excited about?
I'm hyped for an Aaron Gordon reverse alley-oop.
Yeah.
What I need. I need a break, like an easy steal, and Aaron Gordon to just slam it. And obviously, we're not. It would be so much cooler if it was at home because it would just get the crowd freaking hyped. But I want a big alley-oop today. I feel like maybe we'll get pressures and get some live ball turnovers and get some easy buckets. Get the team motivated and going.
I would
maybe like Tim and I were talking about when you were helping Luna there last episode. Maybe we get an MPJ explosion. That would be pretty cool. We want him to see that, take that next step in the playoffs, and now it's a second game away playoff game. Maybe he takes another step tonight and gets in the face of Norman Powell and telling you can't guard me, and then that confidence spills over to the rest of the series, and then he just starts dominating, start knocking down some threes.
Yeah, maybe he finally peaks all over the place, huh?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Got to peak all over the place, bud.
Yeah, I'm most excited, dude. It would be cool to see Gordon just dunk on somebody. That would be awesome. I would love that. I'm most excited for the Jokic Nurkic matchup tonight or today. I think Jokic has something. I think Nurkic has something he's going to try to prove today, and I think Jokic will have the answer whenever that happens, and I'm excited to see that. Yeah, man. Go Nuggets, right? Go Nuggets. Timmy, I wish you sorry, bro. I wish you well with your smoked ribs today. And
thank you.
If you need help with them at some point in the next 4 hours, let me know.
All right.
Willie, have fun up in Salida. Salida.
Yeah, we're gonna celebrate my dad's birthday. That was the 25th. The barbecue today, and then going up to Salida to go. I don't know if the plan was to go hiking. We'll see. We'll see with the weather. So
yeah, I don't know.
I know I'll be drinking beer at Kitchen, maybe Eddie Line.
Oh man, both of those places are awesome. I do have a fondness in my heart for Elevation, though. That place is amazing.
Yeah, I love Elevation. Eddie Line is good too. I like the Eddie Line restaurant in the newer part of Buena Vista.
Ditto.
But yeah. I mean the original Eddie Line with the pizza and stuff is also really good.
Yeah. Will, if you do end up going to Elevation, will you please drink a glass of Signal de Patronge for me?
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
Thank you. All right, guys. Hey, love you both. Thank you for joining us on Bros on Nuggs this morning. I know that it's getting harder as our superstitious ways are forcing us to create some more episodes, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there. May all good things happen today for everybody, especially everyone in Nuggets Nation. And we'll see you guys really, really soon. All right. Tim, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Go Nuggets, baby.
Go Nuggets. Are you good?
Enjoy those ribs, man. Yeah, we're good. Thanks, guys. I love you both. Triple high five.
Triple high five.
Triple high five.
Triple high five.
That was a good one.
All right.
Luna says hello.
Luna says hello.
All right, guys. Love you.
Yeah, love you too. See you soon. See you, Tim.
Go Nuggets.
Peace.